Before we start, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you are not good enough? Like, no matter how hard you try, someone else is always better than you. Better grades, better skills, better results. And slowly, you start thinking, maybe I'm just not smart enough. Maybe this is not for me. If you've ever felt that, this story is for you. Because today, you'll learn something important. You don't fail because you're not talented. You fail because you don't understand your own strength. This is the story of a boy named David. David was 12 years old, full of energy, always moving, always active, the kind of kid who couldn't sit still for too long. And if there was one thing he loved, it was soccer. Every single day, after school, he ran to the field. Same place, same goal, same passion. He practiced for hours, running, kicking, shooting, missing, trying again, and again, and again. Because when you love something, practice doesn't feel like work. It feels natural. It feels easy. But here's the problem. School was different. Very different. One afternoon, David came home from school, but something felt wrong. He didn't run outside. He didn't smile. He didn't talk much. He just sat down on the couch, opened his book, looked at it, then closed it. Frustrated, his father noticed, because parents always notice. Even when you don't say anything, he walked over, sat next to him, and asked, "What's wrong?" David hesitated, then said quietly, "I got a bad grade in math." Because this is where most people think. That's the problem. But it wasn't. "That's not the worst part," David continued. "My friend Matt, he always gets high scores, no matter what, and I try. But I can't do it like him." And in that moment, something dangerous appeared. Comparison. And comparison is where confidence starts to break. David looked down. Because now, it wasn't just about math. It was about how he saw himself. I'm not as good as him. I'm behind. I'm not enough. And those thoughts are dangerous. Because if you believe them long enough, they become your identity. His father listened, carefully. Didn't interrupt. Didn't correct him. Just listened. Then he stood up, went inside, came back with a glass of water, gave it to David. "Drink this," he said calmly, "because sometimes you don't need advice first. You need to calm down." After a moment, his father stood up again. "Come with me," he said. They walked outside, into the backyard, quiet place, green trees, fresh air, peaceful, different from the noise inside David's mind. Then his father turned to him and said something unexpected. "I'm going to teach you 3 lessons." David looked confused, but not with words, with experience. And that's when everything began. The next morning, David woke up early, not because of school, but because he was curious, very curious. What are those 3 lessons, he kept thinking. His father didn't explain much. He only gave him one simple task. Invite Matt to play soccer after school. That's it. No long explanation, no details, just one instruction. And David agreed, because this felt easy, natural, something he was already good at. School ended. The sun was bright. The air felt fresh. And David walked up to Matt. "Hey, do you want to play soccer today?" he asked. Matt smiled. "Sure," he said. But what happened next would change how David saw everything. They reached the field. Same field David visited every day. Same ground. Same goalposts. But this time, something felt different, because now, he wasn't alone. The game started. And immediately, David took control. Fast. Confident. Precise. He moved easily. Passed the ball. Dodged opponents. And within minutes, he scored. 1 goal. Then another. Then a third. 3 goals. Clean. Sharp. Effortless. Because this was his world. Meanwhile, Matt struggled. He missed passes. Lost the ball. Moved awkwardly. Not comfortable. Not confident. And for the first time, David saw something clearly. Matt was not good at soccer. Not even close. And that surprised him. Because in his mind, Matt was better. But now, that belief started to break. The game ended. Everyone laughed. Everyone had fun. But David's mind was thinking. Something didn't match. After cleaning up, he ran home, straight to his father. "Dad, I played with Matt. What's the first lesson?" His father smiled, as if he already knew. "Tell me what happened." David explained everything. The goals, the game, how Matt struggled. His father nodded slowly, then said something simple. "Look carefully. Matt is not good at soccer." David nodded. "Now tell me, is Matt bad at everything?" Silence. The truth started to appear. "No," David said slowly. "He's very good at math." His father smiled again, and said, "That is the first lesson. We are not the same, we are different, and that is okay." David stood still, listening. Because now, this was not just about soccer or math. It was about identity. You feel bad in math because you compare yourself to Matt. But in soccer, you are better than him. So tell me, who is better? Silence. Because the answer was not simple anymore. His father continued, "Everyone has strengths. Everyone has weaknesses. You don't fail because you are not good. You fail when you compare yourself in the wrong place." That sentence stayed in David's mind because it changed everything. Before, he thought he was not good enough. Now, he started to see something different. I am good, just not at everything. And that's normal. That's human. That's real. But here's the problem. Understanding your strength is not enough. Because what you do with it, that's what matters. And David was about to learn that next. That night, David couldn't stop thinking. About the game. About Matt. About what his father said. We are not the same. And for the first time, that idea felt freeing. Because now, he didn't feel less. He felt different. But here's the problem. Understanding something is not the same as using it. And that's what he would learn next. The next morning, his father gave him another task. Watch Matt carefully at school today. David frowned slightly. Watch him, doing what he asked. Just watch, his father said. Pay attention. So David went to school, not just as a student, but as an observer. And what he saw changed everything. At first, it looked normal. Classes, lessons, teachers talking, students writing. But then, he noticed something. Matt was always doing something with numbers. During class, he solved problems quickly. During breaks, he played math games. Even during free time, he was counting something, coins, steps, objects. At one point, David even saw him counting the petals of a flower. And that moment felt strange. Why would someone do that, David thought. But then, something clicked. Matt didn't just study math. He lived it, everywhere, all the time. And that's when David realized something important. It's not just talent, it's practice. Constant, daily, natural practice. After school, David ran home again, faster this time. Because now, he wanted answers. Dad, he said, I watched Matt all day. What's the second lesson? His father looked at him. Calm, focused. What did you see? He asked. David explained everything. The problems, the counting, the habits, the small actions. And when he finished, his father smiled, because this was exactly what he wanted him to see. That is the second lesson, he said. You become good at what you practice. Silence. Because now, the truth was clear. Matt is not just smart. He practices more than you. Every day, in small ways. And those small actions make a big difference. David felt something shift inside him. Because now, math was not impossible. It was just unfamiliar, unpracticed, and that changes everything. If you want to improve, his father continued, you don't need to do something big. You just need to do something small. Every day. David thought about soccer, how he practiced, without thinking, without forcing himself. Every day, and suddenly, it made sense. That's why I'm good at soccer, he whispered. His father nodded. Yes, and that means you can become good at anything. But only if you practice it. And here's where it gets real. Because most people understand this, but they don't apply it. Because practice is boring at the beginning. Repetition, small steps, no big results, no instant success. But that's exactly why it works. Because while others quit, you grow, slowly, quietly, powerfully. David smiled, because now he had hope. Real hope, not based on talent, but on action. But there was still one more lesson, and this one would be the hardest. The next day, David felt different. Not fully confident, not perfect, but aware. And awareness changes how you see everything. That morning his father gave him the final task. Simple, but heavy. For the last lesson, he said, I want you to think about something. David waited. How much better is Matt at math compared to you? Silence. Because this question was uncomfortable. David looked down, thinking, then said slowly, maybe 3 times better. His father nodded. Good. Then he said something unexpected. Then today, I want you to study math 3 times harder. Because this is where most people fail. Not in understanding, but in execution. David swallowed. 3 times harder, that sounded difficult. But he didn't say no, because now, he wanted to change. After school, David sat at his desk, opened his math book, and started. One problem, then another, then another. At first, it felt okay, normal. Then, after 1 hour, his mind started to resist. I'm tired. Take a break. You can do this later. The same voice, the same pattern, the same trap. But this time, David didn't stop. Because now, he knew that voice, and where it leads. So he continued. Second hour, harder, slower, more effort, more focus. His head started to ache. His body felt heavy. His mind wanted to escape, but he pushed through. Third hour. Everything felt difficult. Every problem took longer. Every step felt forced. And then, his vision blurred. His head dropped, and without realizing it, he fell asleep. Right there, on the table, books open, pen in hand. And here's the truth. He tried, but something was wrong. Later that evening, his father gently woke him up. Dinner time, he said, and come to the garden after. David felt embarrassed, disappointed, because he knew he didn't complete the challenge. After dinner, he walked slowly to the garden, head down, voice low. I'm sorry, Dad. I couldn't do it. I studied, but my head hurt, and I fell asleep. Because this moment matters, not success, but failure. Because failure reveals the real lesson. His father placed a hand on his head, not angry, not disappointed, just calm, and said something simple. This is the third lesson. David looked up, confused. What do you mean? He asked. His father smiled gently. You tried to force yourself to do something you don't enjoy. And that's why it felt so heavy. Because this truth is deeper than it sounds. When you do something you love, discipline feels easy. But when you don't, even small effort feels painful. David thought about soccer again, how he played for hours, without feeling tired, without feeling forced. And suddenly, everything connected. So, what should I do? He asked. His father paused, then gave him the final answer. If you want to become good at something, you have 2 choices. Either do what you love and practice it daily, or learn to love what you must do and then practice it daily. Because that is the real challenge. Not talent, not opportunity, but mindset. And that's what most people miss. David stood there, quiet, thinking. Because now, everything made sense. Not perfectly, but clearly. He didn't fail because he wasn't smart. He didn't struggle because math was impossible. He struggled because he never gave it time, never gave it attention, never gave it effort, consistent effort. And that changed something inside him. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but deeply. That night, David didn't make a big promise. He didn't say, "I will become the best." He didn't say, "I will change everything." He just made one small decision. I will try. Every day. And that is where real change begins. The next morning, he woke up. Same time, same room, same life, but different mindset. He sat down, opened his math book, and instead of thinking, "This is hard," he told himself, "Just one problem. That's it. Not 10, not 20, just one." He solved it, slowly, carefully. Then, he stopped, and something interesting happened. He didn't feel tired. He didn't feel pressure. He felt okay. So he tried another one, then another, and without realizing it, he studied longer than expected. Not because he forced himself, but because he removed the pressure. And that's the secret. Small steps create momentum. Days passed, then weeks, and David followed the same rule. Small, daily, consistent, not perfect. Some days were harder, some days he didn't feel like studying, some days he made mistakes, but he didn't stop. Because now, he understood something important. Progress is not about perfection, it's about consistency. And slowly, something changed. His focus improved. His understanding grew. His confidence returned. And one day, something surprising happened. He solved the problem. Without help, without guessing, without fear. And in that moment, he smiled. Because this was not luck. This was growth. Real growth. Built day by day. His teachers noticed. His parents noticed. Even Matt noticed. "You're getting better," Matt said. And for the first time, David didn't feel behind. He felt equal. Not because he became the best, but because he improved. And that's enough. Time passed. Months turned into years, and David became someone different. Not just better at math, but better at life, because he understood three things. First, everyone is different, and that's okay. Second, you become good at what you practice, daily, consistently. Third, you either follow what you love, or you learn to love what you must do. And that is how you grow. Years later, David became successful. Not because of talent, not because of luck, but because of habits. Simple, small, daily habits. And when people asked him, "What is your secret?" he always said the same thing. "I didn't change everything at once. I changed what I did every day." Because this is the truth. Not exciting, not dramatic, but powerful. Now, let me ask you something. Right now, what are you struggling with? Math, work, a skill, something you think you're not good at. Because maybe the problem is not your ability. It's your approach. You are either not practicing enough, or you haven't learned to love it yet. And that's something you can change, starting today. So, here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing, just one, and do it for 10 minutes, every day. No excuses, no delay. Just action, because that small habit will change your future, slowly, quietly, but powerfully. So if you're ready, comment yes below. Not for me, for yourself. As a commitment, and if you've ever felt I'm not good enough, comment number 1. Because that means you understand this story. If this message helped you, like the video, share it with someone who needs it. Because sometimes, one simple story can change how someone sees themselves. And maybe, that someone is you. I'll see you in the next story.